Hey, everybody, and welcome to 2024. Tracy Stuckrath, and I am trying to do this. There we go. Now I'm going live on Instagram as well. Mute How to mute myself. I don't know how to um, mute myself on Instagram over there. So actually, I hope that's still working. Anyway, so hi, happy new year. Big start for the new year. I wanted to chat with you today, wishing you everybody a happy new year. I hope everybody had a fabulous holiday, no matter what you celebrated, Kwanzaa, Christmas, and oh my gosh, my brain is going um Passover, not Passover, but, oh my gosh, my brain is going crazy. Hanukkah, thank you. Wow. And, so whatever you celebrated during December, and that you're excited about 2024, and I am excited about 2024. There's lots of things to go about. We got 12 more months ahead of us for the rest of the year. So how are we going to manage that, and what are we gonna do? Two of the things that I like to promote and what I wanted to talk to you about today in January to kick off January is Veganuary and Dry January. And if you know me and what I'm here at Eating at a Meeting, I promote everyone's different lifestyle preferences or dietary choices, right? Whether it's vegan, whether it's being a meat eater, etc. I want everybody to be able to get something to eat and and eat safely with that, as well as be able to get to the plate. And so what I'm going to focus on this month, as I have done for the last couple of years actually, is dry January, which is non-alcoholic beverages options, as well as vegan options for our attendees. And it's really about making sure that we provide the options that we for our attendees, and our attendees actually can be our employees, our coworkers, right? It could be in the office, it could be at your national sales meeting, it could be at a convention for an association. The goal is to provide options, and that's really what I want to promote with this in dry January and veganary month, which is the month of January. um I am personally, it says January 3rd. um yeah, that's today, January 3rd. Okay, sure, but I'm confused by what your, because I am going live today. It's January 3rd, right? Sorry about that. um Sure, send me another message to make me help me understand what that means. Um, and I want to talk about what we're going to talk about for the rest of the month, and things that I'm going to promote through the rest of through the rest of the month through social media as well. So we are next week. I actually have Char Nolan. She is a or next week, I should say. I think I said that. I am like discombobulated today, and I don't mean to be. Um, Before I talk about her, let's talk about what dry January and veganary are across the board in general. So dry January is promoting non-alcoholic beverage consumption, and that is adult beverages. It's not necessarily, it's not the sodas of the world, and it is not the and waters of the world. It's providing adult beverage is to our attendees at events that are outside of the norm. I stopped drinking, it's been 5 years now, this year, and sometimes I want something more than a glass of water or more than a club soda with a lime. I want something that has a little bit more flavor to it. I don't like a lot of sugar. I actually try to avoid sugar as much as I possibly can. I do love ginger, and so I want something that has some flavor to it so that I'm not drinking water all the time. And so really thinking through what those are. A guest that I have 2 guests or 3 guests this month, talking about dry January. That'll be um, Kate Faulkner and Jen Gilhoy from the Zero Proof Collective. They'll be here January 17th, I believe that is. And then Marcos Salazar from the Non-Alcoholic Adult Beverage Association talking about that. But some statistics showing the volume in this marketplace is huge. I mean, it grew 5% in 2023 and it's worth over $13 billion US dollars. And that might not, 5% might not be a lot, but it is a huge amount and it's projected to grow 7% even more. And this is coming from people who are, a term that I saw from IWSR is substitutors. It's somebody who wants to have an alcoholic drink first, and then they want to substitute it with a non-alcoholic drink afterwards. Like they're gonna have one cocktail, and then they're gonna have a non-alcoholic cocktail after the fact. And that could actually be a non-alcoholic beer. It could be a non-alcoholic wine. It could be a non-alcoholic spirit. So they're substituting it for one way or for one for the other on a regular basis or on an infrequent basis. And when we're planning our conventions and our events, maybe it's a staff meeting, right? Do you really want everybody to get liquored up and drunk and go home with that with that mentality? Or what are you trying to do, right? You want to make sure that people are safe. You want to make sure that you're creating a safe environment, and so that means providing some non-alcoholic beverages as well. And my next question is if you are providing all of that alcohol and no non-alcoholic beverages, how are you making sure that everybody's getting home, right? At the end of the day, after your party, etc. So really filtering them in there with your other beverage offerings that you have. It allows people to still enjoy something that tastes a little bit better, has some flavor outside of water. And this study from IWSR says that they're switching between no and low and full strength. They're looking between rather than avoiding the latter altogether, they're just kind of embedding it and using it every once in a while. The stat says here that those who drink full strength or low no, depending on the occasion, accounted for 43% of the no to low consumers in 2023, and up from 41% in 2022. And the abstainers, just completely abstaining from alcohol, which is what Dry January is about, and other people who abstain from alcohol all year long, has declined from 19 to 17%. So it's those people who actually are still drinking that are looking for something different. One of the challenges that IWSR has found, and I personally have found, is the availability of these drinks. I'm not a beer drinker. I don't like the flavor of beer anymore. Since I gave up beer and wine way back in 2013 when I was diagnosed with an allergy to yeast. So I gave up those a long time ago. So the flavor of beer is not my thing. So I'm looking for that more of that cocktail kind of flavor to it. But there are a lot of non-alcoholic beers out there that are available to bring into your events. And I've seen them in grocery stores. I've seen the wine in grocery stores and the beer in grocery stores. I have not seen the non-alcoholic spirits and cocktail mixes. You do have to buy them from online. You can get them delivered directly to your house from online, or you can, if you're lucky enough to have a non-alcoholic beverage store in your town, that would even be better because you can do that. But when I'm talking about the other challenge facing it of not being able to get it is at hotels. Excuse me. I had one hotelier tell me, oh, well, people don't want it. We don't have it because people don't want it. Well, people don't want it because they don't know you have it. It's a catch-22. So we have to be offering it when we're lining them up on the bar, making sure that we have those offerings so that we know those attendees know to ask for it versus just assuming that, the only option for me is soda or club soda. Drizzly, which is an Uber company, it's the largest online marketplace for alcohol in North America. realized that alcohol delivery was legal, and so they are helping deliver alcohol to you via from the grocery store, etc. Um, and they said in their recent study that non-alcoholic drinks are prime for takeoff this year. A category that has grown. They quoted 62% year over year in 2023. 63% of the survey respondents reported that they have tried or intend to try zero proof beverages in 2024, and notable one third specifically plan to drink mocktails, which is that cocktail version of the non-alcoholic version. Um, and they said here as well, this coincides with the soaring growth we have seen in the non-alcoholic spirits category in particular. The shares up 167% to date from 2023. It's the fastest growing subcategories in the platform. So really thinking about what we can do, but we as meeting professionals, and if you're listening to me in your hotelier, go get these things, go buy them, partner with your whoever your distributor is, and I can help you this later this month. Kate and Jen and Marcos can help you with who those distributors are and getting them to your venues and offering them. And it's not like you're selling it for $5. Sell it for what it's worth. It's going to be a money maker for you. Don't think about it as a burden of adding this other bottle of something in there. It is actually a money maker. Another quote from Drizzly here is that they plan to 57% of survey participants plan to anticipate drinking non-alcoholic beverages while relaxing at home, but they also want to have them at social events when hosting friends and during outdoor activities. So there's a lot of ready to drink options out there. And so if you're hesitant about bringing in and having somebody make a non-alcoholic beverage, get the ready to drink canned drinks. There's a lot of non-alcoholic versions out there that you can do, and that's beers, that's spirits, etc. So you've got those. I'm going to show you. Actually, I'll put these links in the chat here or in the comments. But here's the wine enthusiast article that I'm going to talk about right now. They actually mentioned what's up for 2024. They say low and no proof will become part of the norm. And I really do want that to become part of the norm. Orlando Franklin McCrae, who's the bar director of Brooklyn's Night Moves, says that consumers are more and more okay with not drinking. To have something that's a mocktail at a bar that's supposed to resemble a cocktail. If, for example, they've got a non-alcoholic fermented passion fruit soda is a popular drink at his bar. So really thinking through it and creating options, but we do have to ask for it. And if it means you need to go buy it and pay for it to bring it into that hotel or that convention center property, do so. Pay a corkage fee for it so that you have the options for your attendees. Because like I said at the very beginning of the podcast, is that I'm here to help you create a more inclusive environment. And that more inclusive environment is providing the options for our attendees and making sure that they've got something in their drink or something on their plate to eat that meets their choices. And we've heard a lot about personalization all last year, personalization. Going forward is all about personalization. How can you personalize that experience? And being able to let somebody stay at the event with their non-alcoholic beverage to seal that deal or to have that build that relationship is so important. You don't want your employees to go home because they can't participate because all you've got is beer and wine serving. Throw in a non-alcoholic beverage option in that so that they can participate. So that's that non-alcoholic version side of it. And I really do think it's when you're putting them up on the bar, you know, at an event, we've got the bar, we've got the bottles of wine, we've got the bottles of beer that we're selling, we've got the liquor bottles that we're having there. Also make sure that you've got that non-alcoholic spirit option up there, whether it's a mocktail or a cocktail with no alcohol in it, either whichever way you want to do. Make sure it's on the main bar so that they can ask. Make sure you're communicating that in advance to your attendees on the event app, on your event website. You could, and in your event registration form, make sure you have a check mark, no alcohol. If you're asking people if they have a dietary need, make put that as an option, no alcohol. That could be an allergic reaction from alcohol, but it also could be it helps you provide that that option for them because it also could be a religious-based practice that they don't drink alcohol. So having something for them to drink outside of water and soda is really important. Now, the other one is Veganuary, and that is all about eating vegan and whole food plant based. And next week, and on the, let me get my calendar out here, I am going to have two different guests talking about Veganuary and veganism. That will be on the 10th and the 24th of this month. And we're going to really dive into what that means. And again, it really is moving plant forward or adding more vegetables to your plate, adding more vegetables to your catering buffets, to your meeting menus. And it's not one statistic I found, I don't have it in front of me right now. It said it's really kind of, it's actually not a statistic, it was a trend saying more plant forward food that's actually plants. There's a lot of people that really just want to eat the vegetables that are grown and not use the alternative meat options or not use the meat alternatives that are being grown in labs. They want to actually have the vegetables and the herbs and the fruits. So if you can talk to your catering partners about how to add those things without cooking them in beef broth and without adding cheese to them and without adding milk or dairy to them, making sure that you've got those options that are vegan and people can add to them. I actually saw a video I recorded a couple of years ago walking through a buffet, and it was I think it was a chicken Caesar salad, and they put the eggs on the side, but the chicken was on the main salad. So they decomposed it, but the whole sign said chicken Caesar salad contains eggs, contains blue cheese, or it wasn't Caesar, it was some kind of salad, but it had blue cheese on it. But everything, they decomposed it except for the chicken. So let's put the chicken on the side as well, right? And so that people can make their own salad and add what they want and start with that vegan base. And I think that's really the point in going forward and starting with January. I'm like, I challenge you when you're looking at your menus this month for your events that are happening this month, but also for your events that are happening in May and June and August. Think about starting with the vegan base, plant forward, and then making the meat, the animal-based product in addition to that product. And that includes your cheese and your milks and etc. So start with that vegan base. You will make your attendees healthier. You'll give them some really good nutrients that go with that. But really think through how you're going to do that and make sure that you've got those options. And recently I've been scouring menus and looking what the options are, and nothing's labeled on printed menus from hotels when you're trying to print a menu. I think our restaurants do a better job of doing that vegan and gluten-free labeling on those options, but our catering menus need to get a lot better on that. If you're going to provide a menu to an attendee or to a meeting planner to choose the menu, make sure that they're labeled so people understand and they can easily choose through it. If you're really keen on doing customized menus, but make sure that when you're sending it back to that meeting planner, you also do notify that it is, which dietary needs that they meet, including the vegan. And it's amazing how you can make some vegetables and fruits taste delicious with some herbs. So it doesn't have to be this wild and fancy thing, that's a convolute of a variety of different things. That's even a word, but really kind of tying them in together to make that vegan option. But really start with that vegan plant-based. I I'm excited about January. I'm excited about the rest of the year. Look for some education and some social media posts about Veganuary and Dry January and what you can do. Whenever I have a mocktail or non-alcoholic beverage, I like to post pictures about it. I actually had one on New Year's Eve the other day. Really good flight. My friend Naomi ordered the regular one, and then I ordered it without the vodka or gin or whatever it was in it. It was very tasty. And I did like when they delivered it, because when the one waitress delivered it, she put them down in front of us, but she didn't tell us they looked exactly the same. Exactly the same, and I couldn't tell, and Naomi and I are like, "Okay, which is which?" And the guy who made it came over and told us that the one that had 3 straws in it was the non-alcoholic version, and the one with 2 straws had the alcohol in it. But when you're doing that, you need to clarify that as well, and make sure that your servers understand that, your bartenders understand that, when you're doing that, so that your attendees, feel safe in drinking that, because you don't wanna give the wrong drink or the wrong plate of food um, to that person. Um, and then it does remind me too of making sure that again your labels are clear. I gotten a couple of different text messages from friends with labeling on food that said clearly has beef in it, and then it says it's vegan or it's vegetarian on it. We need to make sure that we are doing double checking those labels. So let me know how I can help. I'm excited. I also have purchased a label making machine, so I'm actually doing food labeling as well. Besides my consulting, going through all of those menu labels for you, or all those menus for you to make sure that you've got options for everybody. I'm adding to that the actual labels. I will print the labels or design the labels with your logos and branding on them, um, for your events. Whether you're a hotel or the event planner, let me know how I can help you with that. The podcast is going to be live every single day, or not every single day, every Wednesday this year. I will be attending the Mindful Mixology Festival in Mindful Drinking Fest in Washington, D.C. at the end of the month. So I will come to you live from there, talking about the variety of different products that are out there. And actually following up from that event, I will be meeting, and on the show will be Marcos Salazar, who is hosting that event. So we will chat with him on Wednesday after that conference. And then I hope to see you at Cater Source and Exhibitor Show. And let's see, IMAX, of course, later in the year, but upcoming right up the first quarter. I will be at Cater Source and Exhibitor Show. So find me, let me know how I can help. Let's chat. And I hope you have a very good January and a very good 2024. Thanks, everybody, and cheers.